You out there, Tim? I can't unmute you. How come? How do I unmute you? That's the problem.
Yep.
Now I hear you.
I'll tell him you're looking for those books. So I need to help him get this.
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Sounds good, Gail. I'll let him know, and we'll touch base next week. Okay. You bet. Take care. Bye-bye. Sorry,
Took me a
Tom.
minute to figure out you were on the phone.
It was Gail Irvin, and I called her to try to get her on, and then by your laugh, I can tell you know what I was going through. In fact, she said to let you know she's working on books for the Vets Hospital. So
God bless her.
So what's happening with the meeting here?
Starts at 9:30.
Oh, at 9:30. Okay, well, that makes a difference. I thought it was 9 o'clock, and I thought you were having trouble. So
no, but I got to share a presentation.
Okay.
So do I do that in a share screen?
You do what you do, and let's practice real quick. Go ahead and pull your presentation up on a secondary screen or a split screen. Minimize your zoom.
Okay.
And get it off to the side, and then open your presentation. So you have both of them running at once.
Okay. It's up.
Okay. Now go to your share screen on the Zoom. There you go. Now pick the presentation. You should have.
Can you see it?
Now I can. Yep, you're up. So now you're sharing your screen. You're sharing your presentation. And I see you off to the side in the panel view, if you will.
Huh.
So yeah, you're moving.
So I want that up at the top, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Are you in PowerPoint there?
Yeah.
Okay, I would go to your full screen just like you would if you were presenting.
I can't even find that now.
You can't?
Wait a minute.
I should have had
my glasses on so I can see it.
Okay, I should have had you come over here where you've got 2 or 3 screens to work with, because it makes it a lot easier, but we'll get you there.
So in my full screen,
Yeah, I see your mouse there. So just, you can do on that screen what you were going to do anyway. So just go with your presentation mode, or I'm not a PowerPoint expert, or full screen, or whatever you do on it.
how come I can't find the full screen piece?
Try moving your mouse up or to the left.
Up on top, I got the mute video, security participants. Pause.
Oh, okay. That's your Zoom coming in on top of it. So there you go. Now you're down on your,
It says stop share. You are sharing your screen. Huh. I'm going to stop share for a second so I can figure out where I'm at. Now I
right.
can see it.
Okay, now if you can see it, and go ahead and get ready to prepare with it, and then reshare, you'll probably be all right.
So speaker view, I want the full screen, right?
Right.
And if I do share screen now, I should see me in the panel, right?
I think so. Try it.
No, I don't see me. I see you.
Oh, okay. Go up to your top right view. On your Zoom, find the view.
I got to get out of here because I can't see this screen at all. So on the view, enter full screen. I don't have.
But once you start sharing your screen, that's going to change on you. And
But normally I see up here gallery view.
right.
Where I would see them all along the side. And I don't see that right now. I see speaker view. There's gallery view.
Yeah.
So which one would I want to be in? Speaker view?
If you're in speaker view, whoever is speaking is going to be the screen you see. If you're in gallery view, you're going to see everyone tiled.
Except me. Except me when I share that PowerPoint.
You should see yourself.
Yeah, but I don't.
You should see yourself. I've always done it with 2 screens, so it's kind of tough to.
Well, not all of us can afford 2 screens, Tim.
There's another option you have if you want. You could send me that PowerPoint real quick, and we could change the settings, and I could actually share the screen, and you could just worry about delivering and talking.
Oh, I mean, that might be a better idea, huh?
Well, we could try that real quick. Can you shoot me that PowerPoint real quick, and we could try it, at least test my theory.
Hi, morning, everyone.
Hey, good morning, Nicole. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am fantastic.
Great.
Tim and I are figuring out how we're going to do this PowerPoint so I can see me. I can't see me when I do it. Okay, Tim, I just sent it to you.
Okay, now go to your share screen and see if you can find a setting that right now you have a block that you're the only one that can share the screen. And we need to get it to where I can share the screen as well.
I got multiple participants can share screen simultaneously.
Yep, go ahead and hit that.
Okay.
I am not getting your email yet. Which? There it is. No, this is a reminder. I just got your reminder, not the PowerPoint. Yeah, there it is. Okay, there it is.
Should be on there.
Yep, it is.
Nice picture, Christine. Ed.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good. I
Okay.
like that cow.
Yeah. Well, you know, from Switzerland, what the hell do you expect, right? Anyway, thought I'd do that. I'm trying it. I do some volunteering with Reading Seed. The kids that I work with, you know, they always like to have stuff. So I'm checking backgrounds and things of that nature. And the next time I'm with the kiddies for volunteering in a coaching type thing with kindergartners, I'm going to talk about cows. So I figure this will be appropriate.
That's really cool.
Thanks for doing these. Appreciate it.
Part of the problem, Tom, is you're sending it to me in a PDF. Let me try something here.
Well, Tim sent a PDF and then Nicole sent a PowerPoint.
I need the PowerPoint, not the PDF.
Well, I thought I sent you the PowerPoint.
No, I got a PDF. I got the PDF. If you can send me the PowerPoint, I think we can. And I could just roll the PDF, but it'd be better if I actually had the.
Oh, it is a PDF, isn't it? You sent me the PDF, right, Nicole?
So I sent a PowerPoint.
Nicole, could you send me that PowerPoint
Yeah,
quickly? Just
sure.
Tim Walter, Tim is in Timothy, Walter, real estate, standard spelling, @gmail.com.
All right, here we are.
Good morning.
Morning,
Good morning.
Tim.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Mom. Who's Mom? Hi. Looks like a Swiss Alps cow.
It is.
Coming after you. Look out. Don't look
No, I'll
behind
ring my bell afterwards. How are you?
you. Good.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Because I can't hear you guys.
You can't hear us? Is your computer muted? Is your sound turned down? Morning, Dick.
Nicole, will you be the one presenting the PowerPoint? Or
So
will
I-
Tom?
I could try to share it. Do you want me to
That's
see if
what I'm thinking. It might be the best if you share. And
Okay.
which I believe Tom gave you the ability. He gave us all the ability. So you might try that real quick.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, there you are.
There you are.
Nicole, I got 2 people ahead of you, and then you.
Okay, so do you want me to stop sharing now?
Yeah, could you, we just want to see if that works. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Slocum, how are you, sir?
Doing good. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okey doke. Appreciate the invite.
Mr. Long, how are you, sir?
Fine, how are you? I'm chilly.
Really?
Still in May?
Too bad.
Yes.
We are too. 63 this morning.
Oh,
Brr. Windows are still open.
Time for long johns.
Yeah, just about. I had my sweater on this morning.
Ed, where'd you get the cow?
Oh, I'm actually in Switzerland right now.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And if you can hear the cowbells in the background,
Wow.
You got another sucker, didn't you?
I love cows. They just have gorgeous eyes. Yeah.
Richard, how cold is it up in Maine?
it's about 62 or 3 right now. It's been beautiful. It really has. Very, very nice.
What town are you in?
I'm a little tiny town called Solon, but if you know where Skowhegan is, that's the big town about 5-6 miles beyond that. So by big town, I mean, what, 6,000 people or so?
Oh, somebody's after us.
All right, well, it's 9:30. So
Hey.
let's get started. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming today. But, you know, your Sunflower Veterans Club officers work continuously. And all this happens because of them. So I want to thank them first. Started with Carol. She's always been right there. Matter of fact, she may have been leading this meeting this morning had not things changed a little
Darn.
bit. And then Richard, make sure that the communication goes out to everybody through the newsletter, and he's our wordsmith. So Richard, thank you. And then I want to thank Jimmy for managing all of our finances. And now not only the money that comes in through checks, he's also managing our PayPal account. So thank you, Jimmy, for that. And all of you are on here this morning because of one guy, and that's Tim. Tim has been our data man for a year now or so, and he makes sure that we make all this work. So Tim, thank you so much for making that happen. Dick too, he's our barbecue specialist in ticket sales, so we always appreciate all the sales that he makes. And Don Seymour takes care of all of our veterans who unfortunately pass throughout the year. So I want to thank all the officers and tell you how much I appreciate what they do. So with that, I want to turn this meeting over to Don.
Go ahead, take it over.
All right, thanks for everybody showing up this morning. As
Got his shirt on, see?
as Tim said, as Tom said, every month we kind of recognize the fallen veterans program. We have the annual Veterans Day program
His mom.
flagpole, but each month we try to recognize any resident veteran who is passed since the previous month's meeting. And we have one that we had a new name put up on the Veterans Memorial plaque in the community center. And the one veteran who passed since last month was Carl Dejan. He passed, he was hospitalized for a while and then went into rehab and passed while he was in rehab. And Carl was a Army veteran. And we'd like to recognize, as we normally do, by asking everybody to rise. We'll be playing taps.
Where's that now? You're muted. They don't hear you. You can unmute. Unmute. You can unmute it up there.
Seats.
Thank you, Don. And next up, Jimmy, if you'll share the treasurer's report.
Okay, can y'all hear? Can you hear me okay?
Had an echo.
Yeah.
You've got two screens up here for some reason.
I can't. I'm moving away from the computer.
Helping.
Some people's kids.
Yeah.
I unmuted. Okay, let me go in the kitchen. Is it still echoing?
Everybody's at home.
Oh, yeah. going to someone else.
What happened?
I can't hear you. Can y'all hear me?
What's happened?
Go ahead, Jimmy.
This is the president of the club.
Oh, okay.
Closed up is mute.
Come on, Jimmy, let's go. This lady that's here, she's supposed to be talking.
Jimmy, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, there's someone in the background that keeps talking that's talking over. Okay, all right, we started the month with 2,000. As I mentioned earlier, which I don't know if you heard me or not, we haven't had a treasury's report since February. So I've combined a report from February through September. So we started this report with $2,704.23 in the bank. Then we had a total of $3,367.04 donations. That was a combination of some donations from our realtors, donations from PayPal, and some other donations that I actually don't know where they came from because they came in while I was gone to Colorado. Expenses in our operations account, we had $255.99 expenses. 149 of that was to be able to have our Zoom meetings like we're having. We bought some stamps, and then we had one reimbursement for the cookout from February. In expenses, as far as the donations, we donated $600 for bus passes. We donated $500 to the VA caregiver program. We donated $1,000 to Old Pueblo Community Services. We donated $900 to the DAV, another $166 to the VA program, and $500 to Esperanza in Escalante.
All the money.
So we had income coming in of $3,367.04, and we had donations that went out of $3,666. This left us with a grand total in our bank as of today of $2,149.28. Are there any questions?
Jimmy, I just want to mention one thing. When you say realtors, I think it's important that we say Christine and Ed Schaefer donated $500. And then
Christina donated $500, and I didn't divide it out, but either Tim Walters or Roger Dagger donated a total of $1,050.
Okay. I just want to make sure that they get credit for what they've done. Thank you, guys. Very much appreciated. Okay, with that, any questions on the treasurer's report?
I didn't hear what was said about the Walters and Daggett.
Pardon me? What did you say?
It doesn't work right today.
Daggett.
Something popped up, said that it was unstable. Your internet's unstable.
Dick, what did you say about Walters and Daggett?
I didn't hear the amount.
Oh, $1,050 total from those two people.
Thank you.
Okay, next I would like to introduce somebody who's been around now almost a year, I think. She has been a great administrator for the Arizona Veterans Memorial Cemetery and a liaison for the Arizona Veterans Memorial Cemetery Foundation, and somebody who I've really enjoyed working with over the past year. With that, our administrator, Nicole Contreras. You're up, Nicole.
All right, thanks, Tom. And thank you everyone for letting me come and talk about the Arizona Veterans Memorial Cemeteries. We are a division of the Arizona Department of Veterans Services, which is a really great resource for all veterans in Arizona. I am going to present my PowerPoint on my screen, so hopefully we can all follow along. So I'm hoping everybody can see the slides now, because a lot of the pictures I'm going to show are very specific to the cemeteries, and we're going to talk about all the cemeteries that the Arizona Department of Veterans Services currently runs. So again, my name is Nicole Contreras. This presentation is on the Arizona Veterans Memorial Cemeteries. I'm really happy everyone's here and joining us today, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation. So, okay, our mission statement. The Arizona State Veterans Cemeteries provide a lasting benefit in honor of veterans and their families, with a final resting place in appreciation and gratitude for their service and sacrifice to our nation. You know, we may not all be veterans, but we all know a veteran. You know, whether it be your brother, your cousin, your aunt, or friend, everyone here in this Zoom meeting, we want to increase the awareness of this VA benefit. I know both of my parents served. My father 16 years in the Army and my mother 4 years in the Army. They didn't think they qualified for this VA benefit because they didn't retire military. But I informed them that they do meet the eligibility and now registered with my cemetery, the Veterans Cemetery in Marana, and also with the National Cemetery. I wanted to show you where all the veteran cemeteries are here in Arizona. So I'm going to show you the state, the national, and tribal. So overall, the VA operates 148 national cemeteries and provides funding for 117 veteran cemeteries in 48 states. The Veterans Administration has a cemetery grants program that assists states in providing grave sites for veterans in those areas where the VA national cemeteries cannot fully satisfy burial needs. The Veterans Administration the Veterans Administration runs national cemeteries, and you'll see those with the blue dots on this slide. So you have the Prescott National Cemetery, and then the National Memorial Cemetery of Arizona, which is in Cape Creek, right outside of Phoenix. State cemeteries are run solely by the states, but we follow the same guidelines as national cemeteries. We have the same goals and the same standards. However, most state cemeteries charge dependent fees for operational costs, which is not the case for a national cemetery. There are 3 state veteran cemeteries in Arizona. If we start at the top, you'll see way up here is the Arizona Veterans Memorial Cemetery at Camp Navajo. Then here we have the Arizona Veterans Memorial Cemetery at Marana, and lower here is the Southern Arizona Veterans Memorial Cemetery. These 2 cemeteries here are tribal cemeteries, San Carlos, and then the Monte, I'm not sure how to pronounce that cemetery. So the National Cemetery Administration has a really great video called A Sacred Trust, and it really goes into detail about the passion behind national cemeteries and how cemeteries began. So if you get a minute, Google A Sacred Trust. It's an 8-minute video that goes into more depth about national cemeteries. It's a really great video. Even though we are a state cemetery, we follow the same rules and we have the same values as a national cemetery. We're really a partnership. And even watching the video, it always makes me feel good about how we honor our veterans in this country and how what we do at the cemetery has an impact on the families of our veterans. So with that said, let's talk about the Arizona Veterans Memorial Cemeteries in more detail. And I'm going to actually talk about all 3. So again, going up north, we have our Arizona Veterans Memorial Cemetery at Camp Navajo. This is in Belmont, Arizona. It was the 101th State Veterans Cemetery, and it was established in 2016. This is a rendering of the full 5-phase map of the cemetery. Only phase 1 is completed at this time. This cemetery is located on 60 acres surrounded by beautiful ponderosa pine. And then phase 1 of the cemetery is 8.6 acres, which includes 274 pre-planted crypts, 222 in-ground cremains, and 220 columbarium niches. And they just completed their scatter garden. So just some more really pretty pictures of the area. This is the committal shelter where they hold ceremonies. And then on the right-hand side here is them having a service. Pictures of their assembly area for events. You can see the Patriot Guard riders here. So this possibly was Memorial Day. And then you have here the Honor Guard and a bagpiper. So there are options. The cemetery at Camp Navajo offers in-ground burial for casket remains and in-ground burial for cremated remains. The casket burial area graves are marked with an upright granite headstone, and the in-ground section for cremated remains is marked with a flat granite marker. It's such a beautiful area. You can see in the background, you've got those snow-capped mountains. The next picture is the columbarium wall, the memory wall, and the scatter garden. So above ground placement for cremated remains is in the columbarium wall, and then the scatter garden where you can spread ashes and then have a memorial plaque. So if you look here on the left, that's the memorial wall. The scatter garden here is in the middle, and then you have the columbarium wall here. I'm a little too far ahead, I apologize. Okay, so here's my cemetery, the Arizona Veterans Memorial Cemetery at Marana, located in Marana, Arizona. It was the 100th state cemetery, also established in 2016. In Marana, the Kai family from Kai Enterprises donated the land. It was 42 acres, 10 for buildings and roadways, 32 for cemetery development. And then if anyone has been out to the cemetery, you'll know that we're nestled in farmland. You actually have to drive through cows grazing and horses to come visit us. Again, another rendering of the cemetery. Total sites, 32 acres. We are currently only in phase 1. 15 acres are developed. That's 5,060 burial sites. And of that, 2,034 are currently in use. And we're actually due for an expansion, a columbarium expansion in 2023. So if you take a look, here's our committal shelter. It overlooks the assembly area and the flag. And then our honor guard standing here outside the committal shelter. Our assembly area, again, where we hold functions, patriotic events, and it's right beside the administration building, and then way in the back is the maintenance bay. So the cemetery offers in-ground burial for casket remains. The casket burial area is marked with the upright granite headstone that you'll see here in the top picture. And then we also have a memorial wall too. We do not have a scatter garden, but it is in the talks. But currently right now we just have the memorial wall. And then our burial urn section in our columbarium walls for cremains. Same thing, you have the flat granite marker, and then the columbarium wall has the niche cover. And then our most southern cemetery. This one actually sits, the Southern Arizona Veterans Memorial Cemetery at Sierra Vista actually sits on 145 acres of land. Currently 33 acres are developed. That's 7,861 sites in that phased area, and 5,545 sites are currently in use. Have the same setup with the committal shelter. The only difference is they actually have 2 committal shelters in Sierra Vista, an outdoor shelter and an indoor shelter. On the right side, you'll see the Veterans Chapel here, the indoor shelter, seating for about 100 people. It was a $500,000 project, built and dedicated in 2014. through generous donations from foundation and contributors. They also have a very nice large assembly area for patriotic events, public patriotic events. Oops. So they also do the same, have a burial garden section for casketed remains with that upright granite. But what they have is they have a historical soldier section, which is really neat, part of the cemetery. It's listed as an Arizona historical site, and it was from the official Centennial Project in 2012. It was actually a relocation project from the first Tucson Military Cemetery, and it marks the grave sites of 61 soldiers from 1860 to 1880. And they only have one option for cremains in Sierra Vista, and that's the columbarium walls. They don't do any in-ground urns in Sierra Vista. So let's talk about your burial benefits from the VA. So the burial benefits include a grave site in any of the 141 national cemeteries, which includes state cemeteries. There has to be available space, but it includes opening and closing of the grave, the perpetual care, a government headstone or marker, a burial flag, and a presidential memorial certificate at no cost to the family. Some veterans may also be eligible for burial allowances. Cremated remains are buried or interred in a national cemetery in the same manner and with the same honors as a casketed remains. So if you choose to be buried in a national cemetery, the dependent is also covered at no cost. However, if you're being buried in a state cemetery in any of our 3 state cemeteries, there is a nominal fee, and that's currently $780 for a dependent or wife to be buried in a state cemetery. That price is subject to change in the future. If you need more information, you can definitely get onto the VA burial website and find more information, or you can go to our website, the agency's website, at dvs.az.gov, and I can send that out after this information. We have veterans benefits counselors that can help you more about what your benefits are and what you qualify for. So, eligibility. Who can be buried in a VA national cemetery or state cemetery? Again, we follow the same rules. Veterans, service members, spouses, and dependents may qualify for burial in a VA national cemetery, as well as other benefits, if they meet one of the requirements listed below. A veteran who did not receive a dishonorable discharge, a service member who died while on active duty for training, or inactive duty for training, the spouse or minor child of a veteran, even if the veteran died first, or in some cases, the unmarried adult dependent child of a veteran. There are a couple more points I want to bring up here. There is a required length of service if the veteran served in the 80s, which is 2 years. And then some National Guard service members may also qualify if they were called upon under Title 10, or if they retired National Guard and they're receiving VA benefits. And it's just good if you think you may or not qualify, or you want clarification, to just send me your records. You can send them here at the cemetery. We can determine eligibility and let you know where you stand. Let's see. So discharge documents, this is the most important thing. And unfortunately, I want to bring up that in July of 1973, a disastrous fire broke out at the National Personnel Records, NPRC, Military Records Building in Overland, Missouri. The fire was an unparalleled disaster, destroying approximately 16 to 18 million official military personnel records or files. So it's really important that you try to find your discharge documents ahead of time, but if they burnt up in this fire and there's no way to determine eligibility, you wouldn't qualify for this VA benefit. So it's just a really sad circumstance that we lost so many records, but I'm hopeful that everyone here has their records and that we can help everyone get qualified. Also to point out too, the cemetery can only help you get records for a deceased veteran at the time of need. So if you're trying to get your records ahead of time, To do pre-planning, you'll need to talk to a veterans benefits counselor or submit a claim through the VA. So pre-registration and scheduling and interment services. Pre-register, it's very important. That gets your records into our system and gets you into our database. That way, when it's, you know, we're planning an interment, it can really help families during that difficult time. And then if military records aren't available at the time of need, it can delay a ceremony to verify military service. So it's very important. Funeral homes or families, you can contact the cemetery directly. We just have a simple application process. Scheduling services depends on the type and needs of the family, so we'll always work to find the best time. Committal services are limited to 20 minutes. Dependent fees are due before service, but cannot be paid in advance. You can't pre-register and prepay, but it can be paid with our new online portal. And I just included a website here. Again, I can send this to Tim to send out. Let's see. So if you look here on this middle is our pre-registration and then our application for interment. All right. So military funeral honors. The Department of Defense program calls for funeral home directors to request military funeral honors on behalf of veterans' families. The military funeral honors website is located and it's listed right there. To arrange military funeral honors, contact your local funeral home if you're working with the funeral home, or you can contact the cemetery. A United States flag is provided at no cost to drape the casket or accompany the urn of a deceased veteran who served honorably in the U.S. Armed Forces. It is furnished to honor the memory of the veteran's military service to his or her country. So who's eligible to receive the burial flag? Generally, the flag is given to the next of kin as a keepsake after it is used during the funeral service. Veterans organizations may assist in providing military funeral honors. And then again, the cemetery does not provide burial flags. The funeral home can provide you with the burial flags, or you can pick one up at the post office. You'll just have to fill out a VA form. So unfortunately, I have to talk about our current COVID-19 restrictions. So currently, right now, our public buildings remain closed. And this, if you're feeling sick, please don't come to the cemetery or attend a service. The number of family members and guests permitted to attend a ceremony is limited right now to 10 or less. And then that's based on CDC guidelines. And then that we're also asking that anybody that comes out, just please have your mask while you're on the cemetery grounds. And then social distancing. But we are still open. We are still conducting ceremonies. I actually have a ceremony going on right now. So we are still running. And I'm hopeful we'll get into the next phase where we can loosen up these restrictions and have more people come out. And you can always get the most up-to-date information by just directly calling the cemetery. I want to just show some pictures here at the end, getting close to the end here. You'll see we do quite a bit of cemetery ceremonies. Memorial Day, we're honoring our veterans and placing flags at each grave site, and we have a ceremony. Wreaths Across America, it's celebrated in all 50 states at the same time on the third Saturday in December. We place wreaths to remember, honor, and teach about our veterans. And part of the sales of the wreaths go to support the cemetery beautification projects. We have our Missing in America project, which will actually take place on October 24th this year. Since 2007, their mission is to locate, identify, and inter unclaimed veteran remains. And then we have in Sierra Vista, they also do a celebration of life and a butterfly release. So all those pictures are part of those ceremonies that we conduct throughout the year. So our last slide, I don't know if anybody has any questions, but I hope you enjoyed this presentation and found the information valuable. If you have any questions, you can ask them right now, or if you'd like to email or call, I put all 3 cemetery administrators on this slide. So we can definitely reach out to us. All of our information is also located on our agency website.
You want to go ahead and take your presentation down?
Sure.
Yeah, I can see everybody.
All right.
Anybody have any questions?
Is there a limitation on the size of the October 24th?
So the October 24th Missing in America will be a virtual. So the public, it's not open to the public. We will have Patriot Guard riders here and the host of the Missing in America project here and the honor guards here. But it's not technically open to the public. If you have a Facebook account, I'll be doing a live streaming on Facebook.
Thank you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's Bob Slocum from the Military Order of the Purple Heart. I got a couple questions. One on the fee. Back in 2014, the fee was between $300 and $400, and you could prepay, and then that was changed. And we've had questions brought up to see if that fee could be frozen at time of eligibility. In other words, if someone registered with you guys and was approved, that would be the fee charge. And if they died 20 years later, if the fee's raised to $1,000, it would be whatever the fee was when they were approved.
Mm-hmm.
Has there been any discussion on that you know of?
No, the fees actually go towards our operational costs and the
I understand where
care.
the fees go.
Right. So the reason being that there may be an increase in the future is because we always match what the VA is giving us. Mm-hmm. So currently right now the VA gives us that cost. So we're going to continue to match what we're getting from the VA. So to meet our operational costs.
Okay. The other question I had is on burials. I've had a couple veterans, the spouse wants to be interned in a casket, and the veteran wants to be interned in an urn, cremated. And not really been able to find out how that's done, where they can be put together.
Yeah, so what we would, if we buried the casket first, then the urn would go with the casket in the casketed area. And if we had the urn first, then we'd place the urn in the in-ground section or our columbarium wall. And then at the time of need, it would get moved to the casketed area.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? I just want to mention, she talked about Reach Across America. We will be presenting links to that website so that if you choose to donate, you can do so through the communicator. And this year's been a rather challenged because we have had no other way to do it except online. So I hope that you see the link and participate in Reach Across America.
I have a question for Nicole, if I may.
Yes.
Sure.
Did you say that the fees for a spouse cannot be prepaid?
They cannot be prepaid. It has to be, it's due on the time of interment. So when
So who pays it? Who pays it? The deceased?
Yes, you have to be deceased and on our schedule. And then that's when we would require the fee to be paid.
Okay.
That answer your question, Alan?
No. I don't know how I pay it after I'm dead, but that's okay.
No. You're free.
Yeah, the veteran.
I understand that, but if I want my wife to be buried with me.
You'd want to put that in your will. You know, you want to set up, and I highly recommend that you talk to funeral homes now. We work with every single funeral home, but I've heard that they can actually hold the money for you and put it into a trust account so that at the time of need, they have the money and they pay. So you do have some options, but yeah, we're just the cemetery. So you really do need to, if you are considering pre-planning and doing the whole process, you got to find a funeral home.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Tom, Gordon, I have a question.
Okay.
Nicole, when the cemetery first opened up, I prepaid my wife's internment. I think it was about $700. Now, I'm told the last time I visited there that it is okay. and it is prepaid. Is that, you concur with that?
Yes, so there were some people that prepaid, and then the agency made a change. So whoever had prepaid was grandfathered in, and then we stopped taking prepayments. So yes, if you've prepaid and you got the letter that says you're good to go, and I can check your records too if you'd like me to, but if you've got all that, you're good.
Okay, thank you. And one final question. I buried my brother there last month. It looked to me like the columbariums were really close to being full. And by 2023, what are you going to do when it fills between 2023?
So every year I have to submit my data on internment rates. And then what happens is we get on a priority list for the VA to give us more grant money to expand the columbarium walls. So the VA knows that we're going to need an expansion. And what we did too, if you're just out here, we're on wall 7 and we're going to do wall 7 and wall 8, but we haven't done wall 6 yet. So we have 3 walls that are we're still needing to fill up. And then they're going to build the expansion out from wall 7 and 8. So while they're building the expansion, we'll be in wall 6 on the other side so that the expansion doesn't interfere with our committal services.
Thank you. And just as a final note, Brenda did a great job for me.
Oh, thanks. I'll pass that along to her. Yeah, she's very good. Very good. We're lucky to have her.
Any other questions? All right. Yeah, I would concur with Gordon. I was there at that presentation, and Brenda did an outstanding job. So very nice. All right. Well, thank you, Nicole. I appreciate your time. And I just want to say one thing. The foundation raises money continuously for beautification, maintenance, and preservation. This year is going to be our 5th anniversary at the cemetery, March 20th. And we've just created a challenge coin, which I think you can see here. And these will be selling for $10 a piece. And we honor the 3 founders who created that cemetery, Mr. Paul Marsh, Norm Ross, and Wendell Haig. So their names are on the challenge coin. And if you'll contact me or one of our foundation members, we'll get you a coin. Thanks again, Nicole. All right. Any old business?
My donut didn't show up today.
You know, I've been meaning to talk to Mark about that. I don't know why he can't get around to everybody's house. He's really
Santa Claus can get around to everyone's house, so he's got to figure out a way.
You know, for some of you that have been on here, I got to tell you, I gave Mark a ration of stuff about not giving us donuts, and he did write us a check for $250 to the Veterans Club. So at least he's trying to make up for it anyway. Any other old business?
I have a question about the Veterans Day ceremony that you're going to have behind the building.
Yes, sir.
How many people, you said, something said that you were going to be limiting the attendance to 50 people. Is that true?
That's correct. Don, where are you at? You want to speak on that?
Yeah, Alan, the word that we got from the Homeowners Association Board of Directors, we had to adhere to the CDC and all the other requirements. We're going to have the maintenance set up 50 chairs with the distancing, marked off. And we don't have a sergeant at arms. We don't have a military police detail. Don't really know what we're going to do when 51 people show up. That 51st. So we're still working.
Okay, thank you. I just was wondering why you're limiting it to 50 people, though. I mean, there's obviously place for more than 50 people back there.
That was the number that when we talked to the general manager, She says it was CDC requirements, limitations.
Well, I know that's not true because there are people that gather in groups that are larger than 50 people, but
Don, isn't that the number of chairs that are going to be available? I mean, if you get outside of that main area, we could have people standing out there, right?
I guess so, yeah. The strictly the 50 chairs will be for, I guess, the first 50 that show up. We'd like to reserve a few of them for the families or the survivors of the 15 names that went up on the board since last November 11th. We want to make sure that we've got accommodations for them. It's going to be a much shorter program this year. We're not planning on having a guest speaker. The chorale has not done any practicing. We let them know that we weren't going to be using the chorale, and they said good because they weren't going to be available anyway. Just short and sweet.
okay.
All right,
I
thanks a
guess
lot.
if anybody comes in and they want to attend, like Tom says, they can either be standing along outside of the designated area, bring your own folding chairs, or there will be no coffee and donuts. There'll be no gathering after the ceremony's over like we've normally had. It's just recognition for the primarily for the ones who have passed since last year.
So you're saying that it really isn't limited to 50 people, you're just going to provide 50 chairs?
We're going to provide 50 chairs, and if anybody else comes in, they can either stand or bring folding chairs. As long as the homeowners association doesn't have a problem with that, I don't think the Veterans Club will have a problem.
Okay, good, thank you.
Thanks, Alan. All right, new business on the barbecue. This is going to be interesting this year also. We're going to have 2 dates with ticket sales. I think it's the 27th and the 29th. But we're also on the Veterans Club website now. We have the opportunity for you to purchase tickets with your credit card or PayPal. And then we have a donation button out there if you'd like to donate. If you don't want to purchase tickets, but you'd like to donate to the club, you can do that. And Tim, I'm going to put you on the spot here and ask you to kind of explain how that works. Can you do that?
Well, can you hear me okay?
Very well.
All right. Let me just say the site for ordering tickets is not on the Veterans Club website. That's on a separate web page that's only available through email or whatever because we don't want that available to everybody around the world. So it's on that page, and you can order tickets or make a donation on that one page. And it's secure. The Veterans Club board, several of us have used it, and it works fine.
Yeah.
And Tom and Jimmy will get information on what's been paid and what people are ordering. And maybe Richard would like to add some more to that.
The website that you're referring to, Tim, will be in the communicator between now and the time of the event. It has already been posted once last week in the communicator, and we did have ticket sales on it. Maybe Jimmy can tell us how many, or Tom, I don't know what the total is as I speak here, but there have been some. And I don't know whether there's been any donations on that website or not either. But that website will be continuing to be available as I put communicator articles in, and there will be another 3 or 4 of those opportunities before the barbecue itself. Final sale date is November 7th. The way the event is actually going to work, because we have to deal with the HOA board and the CDC rules, is it's going to be as non-contact as possible. We're going to have strictly takeout. It's going to be on the barbecue, on the patio. You must have the liability waivers signed in order to participate. You will have to be masked and social distanced, and we will have volunteers there that will be helping us be sure that we are following all of the rules. This is a very different time for us. So for all of you that aren't involved in the planning process, if you can just honor us with a little bit of patience, because we're probably going to need it at some point in time, because we really don't know exactly how to do this and do it most efficiently either, but we're going to try.
We'll also be distributing to those homeowners who choose not to come down to the site to pick up their food. And I believe, Dick, too, you're in charge of delivery. Is that correct?
Yes. Are we going to charge extra for that or just donation?
We're not actually delivering to their homes. They're driving down to the west parking lot and picking up their food. We had decided at one of our meetings that the take home was not going to be possible. But
Okay.
Dick, your group of people is going to go to meet their car in the west parking lot,
Okay, good.
get their tickets, bring them over, get their food, take it back to their car. They go back home and enjoy their meal.
Good.
So we're trying to at least accommodate everything that we can accommodate. And I hope everybody is patient with us and participates.
I have a question. This is Hildegard.
Yes, go ahead.
Can we make out a check for donations or purchase and leave it at the desk, the front desk, instead of doing it online?
Yes, you can still write a check.
Just write it to the Veterans Club?
It's going to be a check made payable and mailed to me. And that information is, Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's in this particular announcement of this meeting, is it not?
Yes, that's right. It was in the email for this meeting, yes.
Oh, okay. I'll find it.
Go to the announcement of this meeting. My name and address will be in there. Obviously, the check needs to be made out to me. No, the check needs to be made out to the Veterans Club.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
I could look in the directory too.
And
to
your
get your
tickets
address.
will be being held in roll call. We're going to have a table at the barbecue for the people that ordered online. Their tickets will be there available to them with their names on them and their meat choices and everything, but it's going to be at a will call type table, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I might just add, Tom, that I'm going to draft and have available as everybody arrives and hopefully able to get it out in the communicator as well, the actual process that's going to happen on that particular day. For example, the people that are arriving that are going to walk through the patio themselves, we're going to want them to go into the east parking lot, and they're going to go around the east end of the pool to enter the patio and exit from the west end of the pool. Those instructions will come out ahead of time. People that are going to do the take-home thing that Dick too is going to be handling are going to be driving into the west parking lot. And we're planning on having volunteers greet the participants at the front entrance there so that they can get into the right spot. I mean, all of this is, we're going to try and make this easy with instructions ahead of time. Once again, we're probably going to miss something, but we'll do the best we can.
Thank you.
Other than my email, another good way to get information out to Sunflower is the Facebook page that Tim Walter does, like he did for the meeting this morning. So I think that'll be good.
Tim, thank you again, Walter, for helping us with this United Sunflower, because gets the message out to a lot more people. And there's a lot of information that the whole community needs about veterans. So thank you for what you do. Any other new business? Anything I'm missing? Anything for
I
the
just want to
good?
mention,
Go
I
ahead.
just want to mention we got up to 27 participants, so that's a record for our Zoom meeting so far.
Yeah, we're on a good start anyway.
Yeah.
Anything for the good of the cause?
Who do we get a hold of to volunteer?
Say that again, David.
With whom do we get with to volunteer?
That information is also in today's announcement, and the volunteer is me. And my email is listed there. So just shoot me an email.
Okay. All right,
Okay?
Richard. Got you. Thank you.
Bet.
Hey, Tom, can I throw something out there?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, Camp Corral's raffle has started back up at Golden Corral because they're back open. And right now we're running it every Sunday from 9 until closing. So if any of the residents or club members want to have a Sunday breakfast or something like that and thinking about going out, they might want to swing by camp by the Golden Corral. We're raffling off a grill and along with a gift certificate from Dickman's for a couple steaks and twice baked potatoes, a cover. And then the second prize is a $500 free, $500 valued examination at a chiropractor up in Oro Valley, an initial evaluation. So we would appreciate the support if, like I said, for folks who might want to come and eat Sunday breakfast. And if you go in during a regular week, you can talk to the cashier and get a couple tickets. Tickets are $1 each, 6 for $5 or 15 for 10. And that's for the Camp Corral for the Wounded Warrior children for the Oracle camp. And I did talk to the director in Raleigh, North Carolina. She said that it looks real good that there will be a camp this year up in Oracle.
Fantastic.
Hey, Tom,
Yes.
just one more thing for the, why the meeting, good order. The VA just authorized bladder cancer for those guys in Vietnam and the shaking like Parkinson's. It finally got approved. It's been 3 years. So if anybody out there that is applied for bladder cancer got refused, we can reapply for it now.
I do have one. I hopefully it's for the good. Tom, your good brother helped me work for my 95-year-old uncle, World War II vet, of getting him a scooter, electric scooter, and the rack that goes on the car, another little wheelchair, also the grab arms for his bathroom area, and ramps. So I think that's really good for the cause that the system works. But thanks to Joe, he really did. He's been a blessing. So anyway, I'm going to let him know. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I want to mention one other thing. Nicole talked about filling out pre-registration so everybody, the cemetery is aware of you. More importantly, make sure that your spouse and family members know where your DD 214 is at and where all your necessary records are at. You may not think it's important for you particularly, but there's compensation sometimes available to your spouse through the DIC program. And if you think about the loss of income to your spouse when you pass, not only does she lose either hers or your Social Security, but there may be some other pension dollars that she loses. So this program can help. I just worked with a veteran here in Sunflower who had never been to the VA and didn't want to take any compensation from there. But after he passed and I sat down with his wife, she felt like she really needed that income. And Joe was able to file, and I heard from her the other day that her claim was received. So now we're just waiting for it to be approved. So there's a lot of value in making sure everybody has those documents and is aware of what's going on. Okay. Anything else?
Tom, can you hear me?
I can. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Did I had to leave, I had a phone call come in, so I missed part of the meeting. Did you mention anything at all about the Gym Click tickets?
I'm not.
Do you mind covering that, so in case people are interested in buying some?
Yeah, every year the foundation participates in the Gym Click raffle, and we have tickets for sale. They are $25 a piece and 5 for $100. Any support we get, all of those, the thing about Gym Click tickets that's amazing to me anyway, every dollar that is used to purchase that ticket comes directly to the foundation. Click gets no money from those tickets. 100% of it comes to us at the foundation. So if you're interested, you can get a hold of myself or Jimmy or any of the foundation members, and we'll get those tickets for you.
What was the price of that again, Tom?
They're $25 a piece or $100 for 5.
Thank you.
You bet.
And the drawing is in December, so it's soon coming up. So if you want tickets, we need to, we'll be glad to get them to you.
All right. Well, thanks to everybody for coming. Thank you, Nicole, for your presentation. It was very well received. And if anybody has questions about the cemetery, you know where Nicole's at. If you'd like to support any of those things you've heard about during the meeting, you can get a hold of any one of us as officers, and we'll make sure that we pass it on to the right people. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day and take care of yourself.
Thank you, Tom, and everyone.
Be safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rudy.
Thanks for having me. I'm always glad to be here.
Yeah, I saw your picture out there. I should have mentioned you were there, shouldn't I have?
Oh, that's okay. You know, I'm just an innocent bystander.
We appreciate you.
Of course, you know where to find me, Tom. It's always good to see you guys.
Right.
Tim, David,
Hey,
good to
Rudy.
see you fellas.
I never did get information from our meeting a month ago. I'm still waiting.
Yeah, so it's good that we're here now, I'll tell you. So I actually talked to the congressman about that Veteran Advisory Council. So I guess I'm a little bit preemptive. He wants me to kind of hold off for a little while until we get through COVID. So the moment he gives me the green light, I'll send it your way, Tim, and then you can blast it out to the Sunflower Club.
Okay, sounds good.
And then is
I know
it
you're busy.
okay if I join that Sunflower Club on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Rudy?
Yes, sir.
David Van Osdol here. Last month you were talking about the VA wanting to get more virtual doctor calls, visits, that sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
And you said you were having reservations about that happening with our age group and the pros and cons. Just want to let you know I was talking to several veterans about it, what you presented, and just want to let you know we agree that we still need that one-on-one personal. How can we get our blood pressure taken? How can the doctor see the color of our skin? How can the doctor touch and feel and do all that virtually? So anyway, those were I just wanted to share with you that you have support out here, out in the hinterlands. So keep it up, okay?
Excellent, excellent. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for that feedback. And, you know, we appreciate that type of feedback all the time. And rest assured, you know, I take it straight to the boss. So,
David,
we'll
let me
keep
just
trying to make sure and fight that fight for you fellas and ladies. So I appreciate that feedback. Sorry, Tom, go ahead.
Okay, David, I just want to let you know, I had a cardiology appointment last week, and it was telephonically, and I had the same question you just brought up. How does my cardiologist take all of those things that are necessary? So I called him back and I said, listen, this ain't gonna work for me. Not a problem. They put me into a face-to-face meeting and the same time slot, and I'm glad I went. I ended up with a heart monitor on, so that would have been pretty hard to do with a telephone. So,
all right,
it does work.
They set me up this week with physical therapy video.
Virtual?
We'll see how that works.
What virtual doing?
Virtual. I know.
Okay.
They did
Yeah,
it with
Carol,
my
I would
husband
love to
too,
know
and
how that
I
goes.
became the physical therapist, her talking me through it. But now it's for me, for my arthritis. We'll see.
Well, Dennis can do it. I have faith in Dennis.
Hello, my sister, veteran. How are you doing? Are you doing okay? Yes, you.
I don't know if she's muted.
Peggy?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I had a flu shot yesterday. I'm just hanging in there.
Good, good.
How do you do that virtually?
Yeah.
Well, you take care. If you need anything, get a hold of us, okay?
I sure will, and thank you so much. So good to
bet.
see everybody.
Okay. Take care.
Hey, Rudy, I don't know if I told you that my claim was completed
No.
in record time, about 3 months.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that is a record, Tim, I gotta say.
Yeah, and they've got me at 100% for the rest of my life. So
Well, good.
that's pretty quick
You did the
service.
right thing.
Tim, do you need to go out to the base? I can take you out.
Out to the base?
Yeah, for your ID card.
No, remember you took me about a year ago. We already got it.
Oh, well then I ain't taking you again.
Yeah.
Don't take him again.
Yeah. And I used it when I was in San Diego, but I haven't used it here yet.
It's kind of handy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, one more comment, Tom. For the next meeting, you might want to mute everybody and then unmute the speakers as they talk, because we've been getting phones ringing and people talking in the background and, you know, a lot of other things going on. So I think that would be a good thing to do.
Yeah, Tim emailed me or chatted with me and said I needed to, when they popped up, I put it in speaker view, and then when they popped up, I muted them, but it's like doing whack-a-mole, you know? So yeah, I think I will do it that way next time. I did record this meeting, so we have this whole meeting recorded.
Maybe at
Now
the
you can put up on-
beginning, just have people aware that they can't have people talking to them because their audio is on. Talking
Yeah,
to
that's the bad part. Yeah, a spouse comes in and
Yeah.
dog barks, whatever.
I do think, though, as administrator of the Zoom meeting itself, though, Tom, I think that you can physically actually go to everybody and mute them. I know it's playing whack-a-mole, like you said, but
Yeah, I think
When
you're
you
right.
set up the meeting, yeah, you can do a mute all when you set up the meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll have to do that next time. That whack-a-mole thing gets a little old.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
All right,
out.
everybody ready to go?
Yes, thank you. Thanks,
take
Tom,
care,
for all
y'all.
your help and
All right.
work.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys.
you.
Bye.
Bye now.